All right, we are live. Show Me the Money Club. You know, it's Tuesday.
That's right.
We were just talking about you don't drive on Tuesdays because it's known as the Terrible Tuesdays. Before we started the show, I guess you could say the green room essentially because that's what we were doing. But yeah, it's one of those things. So welcome, welcome to hanging out with us on Show Me the Money Club. Wonderful to have Tony on today. So, Tony, if you want to introduce yourself.
My name is Tony Pierce. I've been driving on and off for about 8 years and almost 6,000 trips. I interviewed Sergio on my hereinla.com podcast, and he blew my mind. And I'm all ears now. Anything that this man says, I'm all ears.
But now tell us about your past a little bit with what else you did before RideShare and for all your career. And I encourage everybody to go. I mean, it's LA stories, but he'll tell you a little bit about that now. So what is here in LA and what did you do before RideShare?
Well, for a long time, I've been a journalist. And one of the things that I learned from doing RideShare was, even though I've lived in Southern California since the 80s, I didn't know anything about LA because once I started doing RideShare at night as kind of a side deal, I was in neighborhoods I'd never been to before. I was driving at all hours of the day and night, and I saw LA in a totally different way. So it inspired me to create a podcast where I go to every single neighborhood of LA. There's over 250 of them, and talk to the people. So Sergio lives out in the valley in a neighborhood I've never been to before, and it's beautiful. And Sergio's house is gorgeous. And when you go there, you think you're in the middle of the suburbs in, I don't know, the Midwest. You don't really think that you're in California until you look at the beautiful mountains. And so what I want to do is I want to bring that to the people of LA, many of whom, like me, have lived here a long time. And we kind of sit in our bubbles and we don't really leave our little parts of town, or we'll just speed right through on the freeway and we don't really get a grasp of what those neighborhoods are.
Yeah, so, I encourage everybody to check it out. I know it's about LA, but honestly, it's so well done. And then he interviews everybody individually, and they're definitely more interesting characters than me on that podcast for sure. I may be like on the bottom 100.
False, Sergio. No, see, that's the thing. You're absolutely right. Yes, you don't have to live in LA. You don't have to like LA to enjoy this, because really it's about the people. We talk about your neighborhood for a small percentage of it, but really I want to just show these are the people in the neighborhoods. Let's get a little taste of what the neighborhoods are, but mostly it's your stories. And Sergio, your origin story is fantastic.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. So I see RideShare Lisa. Okay. Hey, Lisa. Gary is here. Gary, stick around. I have a question for you. We can kill these guys. And then one more taco. There you go. We're all in the house.
I like that name. One more taco.
One more taco. I like that one. I like that one a lot. You know, there's a great taco truck that just showed up like in my neighborhood a couple of weeks ago. They're taking all my Uber money. I'm making money for doing food delivery, and then I'm spending the money there. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm just not liking it. But anyway,
that's like what the one person was highlighted in Elijah's video, where he only made 37 cents because 30 went towards gas, and you got to make that recap. So
yeah, man, I was like, yeah, that guy's an idiot, but it's okay. So Chris, I have gotten a lot of pushback for calling people ants.
Yep, I've seen that.
Have you seen that? Yeah. So I'm going to minimize my I don't do it for contempt. I love all drivers equally, and I think without them there is no gig economy. So, but you know, this is not a PC channel, so Tony, you'll figure that out because I'll be cussing all throughout. However, you know, every animal on the planet has their space. Ants are known for being super hard workers and working all for the queen, you know, or whatever you want to call it, ant. So to me, it was done in like really respect, because without ants, there would be no Uber. Nobody would pick up those shitty rides. Okay. So to me, I'm like, I'm going to try to minimize that. So if I do say ants, you know, everybody, you know, just slap me or do whatever you need to do.
Because it means hard workers that the algorithm or the queen tells you what to do and you do it.
Yeah.
I appreciated it when you said it the other day, because in many ways I'm an ant, and I didn't like it when the phrase originally came up several years ago on Facebook groups. I was offended by it because I thought it was insulting these hardworking people who are just doing what they can. But I feel like it's the same as basic bitch. If you're a basic bitch, just fucking own it.
Yeah,
I'm an ant most of the time. I'm trying to get that goal, and sometimes you just got to take shitty rides to get there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. So we have Jeff. Jeff, how are you, my man? Okay, did you hear that, Jeff? Yeah, I know you logged on late. I'm not going to use ant anymore. I have to find another. See, it's been in my lingo for like so long.
Why don't you do non-cherry picker?
Non-cherry picker. Okay, here we go. PPC. And the reason also I call them ants is because when you look at the passenger app, they're all like on top of each other trying to accomplish something, all the drivers. So I'm like, okay, that looks like an ant colony. I don't know. I mean, it was all done in love, people. It was nothing derogatory about it. I meant it with much love, because without you guys, there'd be no Uber. So
one thing though is that outside of California, with places that have upfront earnings, how many people are going from taking all rides or now cherry picking because they know what they're seeing? And they're saying, look, I'm not driving 25 minutes to go take a 2-mile ride. There's no way. It doesn't make sense. If you get that ping and you see $4.24, it ain't worth it. So how many people are passing on that now versus what they would have before?
So the conversion may be happening by just Uber's graces, that they just finally said, we have such amazing algorithms. We don't even care now if we show the destination to these guys, because we know we're just going to make so much money on every trip before we even get the process rolling, that they're going to go, here, take it, look at it, decline all you want. So I'm like, okay, maybe people will just kind of go, okay, this $4.25 for 8 miles, 50 cents a mile, not good. Let's move on. Well, okay, so maybe it'll convert some people, but Tony, we don't have that in California. We have that penalty in California.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, you got on
this one. Which is bizarre, because here they passed the law that said we're not their employees, and yet they treat us poorly when we say no to jobs we don't want. Well, they punish us.
Yeah, so that's why we had that lawsuit thing last week. I call it these companies having the cake, and they want to have the cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So one day they treat you like one, the next day they treat you like something else, the next day they treat you to something else. I'm like, bro, I'm just confused. Which one am I? Just tell me, who am I?
So is it going to come to California?
Flicker in there. Oh boy, we got some lighting issues. Well, that's the whole thing. Like, California is its own beast. I don't know why.
California, that's the lights are going out because 110 everybody has their airs on today. I'm like, God damn.
So is it going to come to California where we can decline as many as we want and still get the upfront?
I know, because we have Prop 22. we can. I hope it comes here, right? Because Uber is probably dying for it to come here, because I'm telling you, Uber's total revenue, 20% is California. All those billions of dollars.
But what's stopping Uber from doing it? It's their app.
Prop 22.
I don't understand. I feel like not giving.
Well, I'm going to say they follow the law to a T when it works in their favor.
Right.
But then they're like, if the law, we don't like that, we're just not going to pretend it's there. So.
But I think, Sergio, I think what you're saying is that they do like it. They do like to just throw them all out there. And
yeah, but Prop 22, Prop 22 passed like 2.5 years ago. This is something they're releasing nationwide now, because now they have the perfect algorithms for it. That's why.
But I feel like not allowing us to decline as many rides as we want goes against Prop 22. Punishing us for declining rides is treating us like an employee.
Yeah, well, but what happened is that while they were, the AB5 passed. AB5 passed. AB5 codified every driver as employees. They ignored it for 9 months, okay? Until with the last elections, they spent 220 million to pass Prop 22.
Mm-hmm.
So during those 9 months that Uber and Lyft completely ignored the law, which is, I don't even know how they did it.
Right.
But they did it. They just said, like, it's like, you get pulled over on the freeway and the highway patrol goes, you're going 80. You guys like, no, I'm not. Never mind. I'm gone. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. It's the law of the country, man. But anyway, that's not the issue. Then during that time, we had all the good stuff happening. Then we could do like decline all we wanted, no penalties, upfront stuff. They even tested the name your price for the ride, all that good stuff. And then they put Prop 22, and it goes like, okay, boom. Oh, first, 5 out of 10. By the way, math-wise, a lot of people think 5 out of 10 is 50%. It's not 50%. You could like accept 20 in a row, but if you decline 5, it still goes against 5 out of 10. You're blind. What kind of fuzzy math is that? Maybe give me like a percentage.
Here's the other reason.
Your last 10.
I know Uber's listening to this because you two are so handsome, and I'm sure you give them great advice. But I'll tell you, as a driver who is doing this now 30 to 40 hours a week, when I drive blind, when all of a sudden it drives blind, I just go home. You want me out on the road, right? You want me happy. Yeah. So do things like have the tip button show up mid-ride. Yeah. Have like all the technology that I know that you can do.
Yeah.
Put it in the app. So because if I drive 3 more rides a day, you multiply that with all the other Tony Pierces out there who are kind of on the fence about driving Uber, you're going to have so many more drivers. I don't know why they're playing all these weird games.
They do, because there are so many desperate people right now because of the economy and inflation. They have so many more drivers than they needed. And oddly enough,
there's too many drivers.
Way too many drivers. So there's the same pie being sliced to communities.
So why am I getting 13-minute away requests?
Algorithm. Mm-hmm. Remember I told you about that batch matching situation?
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to match you with the closest driver as a passenger.
They don't want to match me with the closest?
In the old days, they used to.
Yeah.
They used to. Now it's called batch matching. So they have, like, let's say within a square mile of where you are, right? Mm-hmm. They have 50 drivers and then 500 requests coming in, right? Mm-hmm. So what they have to do, they have to match a driver with another passenger, so everybody's pickup time becomes just about the same, as opposed to one guy gets picked up in 13 minutes, the other one gets picked up in 2, the other one. So the one that's closest to you is going to actually wait a little bit longer, but the one that's farthest to get picked up is going to get picked up faster. So on average, they try to average it down to 6 minutes basically for everybody, as opposed to one getting picked up in 2 minutes, one getting picked up in 10.
Is this how you would do it if you were running Uber?
No, I would never do that. I would do definitely different things. I'm applying for the CEO job. It's never going to happen. But so, okay, you know what? Cheeky chops. I saw that. We're going to talk about that. Hang in there, cheeky chops. And we need Gary. Gary, you're still here. Like, don't go anywhere yet. We're going to talk about an app that we may be working on together. Zoom is here. So, not true. I've had, what do you say now? I've had high rate of success when it's in the car or next to you. Yeah, to a point, but not when you're in the car. But anyway, so should we get going with our show? Right. What's your cat's name, by the way? This is the second cat we had on the show. We had Gabe's
Michael, cat. And Prince is sitting over there.
Oh, you have 2 of them.
Oh, they're famous now.
Is that from Michael Jackson or Michael?
Yes, Michael. Well, Michael Jackson's oldest son is called Prince Michael. So their mother I used to see as a stray, and I called their mother Blanket because she was half black, half white. And I was like, oh, it's Michael Jackson's baby. But then they had kittens, and I thought that I was going to be able to give away these cute kittens. And 7 years later, they're still with me.
Well, one is a lab cat. The other one is not out there, I think.
No, they both are. The fat one is sleeping.
And had his tuna.
Let's say not about Maxima. I already know about Maxima RideShare, Lisa, which I'm going to deploy next week when I'm doing food delivery. So we should talk about that shortly. But maybe we'll have Gary on. Gary is this guy that I met through Steve's channel. Steve, I forgot his channel's name, the one in Denver, Steve in
Rodeo?
Denver. Huh? Yeah, RideShare Rodeo. Yeah, RideShare Rodeo. And I met Gary right there, and he writes apps. He does, he's an IT guy, or dabbles into it anyway. So we have an idea. But anyway, so let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's see what we got. I think we introduced ourselves pretty much enough. So,
well, I'm Chris. Who are you?
I'm just a RideShare guy.
Oh, I thought you were the ant.
I'm just the fool.
No. Where did you want to start?
Wherever you want.
Well, we got surge baiting. We got.
You know what? Let's do that because I don't know how long Gary is going to stick around. Yeah, let's do surge baiting because Cheeky Chops said something about that's going to be okay. So this is, if you look at the timestamps of these things, okay, 10:38 p.m. and 10:41. This is my neighborhood. My app is off, as you see. I mean, look at that surge. This is Saturday night, right? I mean, wonderful, beautiful. Just next to my house, I have 19s, 18s, 12s, 10s. Literally, I'm up in the hills. Tony knows where I live. Even next to my house, there was a $10 surge, Tony. Figured that out, right? I mean, just turn the app on and go. How flexible and lovely is that, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going to do this test. Okay, look, I've known about this from the days of the multiplier, when we had like 3x, and then you turn the app on, it goes down to 1.7x. I'm like, what happened to the rest of it? Who took the money? But now that they introduced flat rate surge, or I used to call it penny surge, so this is what's happening quite a bit. So I talked to WeZoom a lot, and he complained about the same thing. Tony the other day called me, goes, what kind of BS is this? I'm like, yeah, it is what it is, man. So we're all victims of this thing. I call it, I called it surge baiting, but it's, it's big. I got that thing from doing deliveries. There is something called tip baiting in deliveries. Mm-hmm. They show the tip, but then they don't pay you the tip, whatever. But this is more serious money. On tip baiting, maybe $3 tip they show, or $5 tip, $10 tip. You don't get it, but you get it on the next one. On this one, the numbers. So I see what I see. Supposedly, I'm supposed to get what I see, right? So when I turn the app on, immediately, all the numbers on the screen from one, first of all, notice the difference in color, Tony. It goes from blood red to like pale, kind of a shit orange. I go like, wait a minute, what's going on here, right? So this has been going on. Yes, surge baiting. Yes, everybody's agreeing. We have something going here. So this is the first screenshot, right?
Hashtag surge baiting.
So I'm like, okay. And then immediately it says plus 825 next trip. I'm like, Uber, we appreciate it. What happened to the 11? Because I'm sitting right on top of the damn thing, right? Or 12, whatever that is. And then if you look around all the numbers, look what happens to the numbers. The 19 goes down to 14, 18 goes down to 13. And I go, what happened to the 12? That disappeared altogether. And I'm like, wait a minute, man, this is not cool. Well, this has been going on for a while, but I think this is the time that we talk about this. So next one, on the next screenshot.
Hold on, before we even go on, you see 1038 is on the left, and you see 1041. So only 3 minutes has passed by. Even if they were going to be, let's say, legitimate surge numbers and not really surge baiting like this definitely appears to be.
Yeah.
But you're looking at all of this area. It's like just you going on is not going to constitute every other driver going on at the same time or becoming available because they're dropping off a ride.
Well, look, Chris, obviously the reason there is that much strong surge, there is no drivers in the area, right?
Exactly.
Supposedly,
all the areas drop the same.
Yeah, supposedly there are no drivers. So look at the next screenshot. Okay, look at the times on those screenshots. Okay, 12:11, 12:13, literally minute apart, minute and a half apart, right? So this is where our friend WeZoom lives. So I'm looking at it like, look at that surge, bro. 28s, 27s, 20s. I mean, yeah, right? Wonderful, yes? And then I turn the app on. Again, look at the color difference, right? It's like goes from blood red to like shit pale, yellow, orange, whatever.
Yeah.
And then look at the numbers. 28 goes down to 20. 20 goes down to 12. 22 goes down whatever. I'm all like, okay. Now, there's two things happening here. So I know why this is happening. I'm going to put it out there for you guys, and then you guys can talk. Surge is there. Now, Uber knows all the information about the demand patterns in a certain given area around the globe every millisecond of the day. So Uber has, I've experienced this personally, Uber puts on fake surges. Fake surges means they want to attract nope, I'm not going to say the word. They want to they want to put on the surge for the non-cherry pickers, okay, to come to the sugar. So I go like, so Uber always puts the surge on about 6 to 8 minutes before the actual demand is going to show up. So when drivers see this, they gravitate towards the numbers. And by the time the actual demand shows up, right, then you have enough drivers in the area. Otherwise, if the driver map was truly on real time, right, everybody would be swimming in cash, and we would get what we see as the 28 or the 25 or the 22. So I'm kind of thinking this surge baiting has been going on long enough that we as drivers have to feel in control. Now, so Gary, this is when you come in. How about if we had an app for all drivers to join? Not like a Facebook group, not like a Twitter, not social media. An app, simple app that all drivers on the Uber platform join and communicate through the app with each other. Think about this, Tony. Think about this. So this is how we show Uber and Lyft and everybody else that we are in control. So let's say in that Pasadena situation or in the Granada Hills situation or in Santa Monica, wherever we are. Let's say in Santa Monica, there's 1,000 drivers that are online. Together, we all say, apps off. All of us at the same time, because we're going to go to another screenshot with Lyft with what happened that it's going to kind of prove what I'm saying. What would happen, Tony? What would happen to the surge?
Well, if surge is real and it's truly based on supply and demand, surge would go up
to astronomical levels.
I mean, yeah, we've seen when Uber has gone offline and they come back, then it is astronomical. And I think what you're trying to do is
and it happened on Lyft last week. We're going to prove that how it happened. So, and we're not going to do this for like hours. We're going to all decide for 10 minutes, everybody's apps off. We're going to wait until it bleeds to hell and then turn our apps on and collect the surge and wash, rinse, and repeat. Next 10 minutes, we're going to do it again and again and again. And you know what? Uber and Lyft are going to bitch and moan and cry about it.
It's Surge Club.
They're going to say, this is surge manipulation. This is, you guys are doing this. It's illegal. And then you're going to say, no, it's not. We can turn the app on and off whenever we want.
That's right.
We're independent contractors. So Gary, we need to write an app that we can have all, log on and log off at the same time. So think about that, Gary.
Okay. Uber, Lyft, before you guys freak out, and you should, first of all.
They can suck it. Yeah, go ahead.
Easy. They cannot suck mine. Thank you.
Oh,
okay, here's the thing. I don't see why you would want to play games with the drivers. All it does is upset us. We go to where the sugar is. I love that phrase, by the way, Sergio. I drive to the sugar, and then you take it away from me. If I did that to these cats, they'd piss all over my house when I'm gone. If you only want to pay us $8 for the surge, then put that up there. You don't have to put $28.
Yeah,
we're gonna still go to the 8.
Yes,
it's like I don't know what sample that they've tested that they're like, oh well, ants won't drive to the 8. Of course they will. I didn't make that promise. That's your promise that you won't call them. We will all drive to the 8. We'll all drive to the 8 if it's a real 8. If I have enough time to get there, if it's a reasonable time, I would love an 8. Just leave it at that. I don't understand why they want to use their technology for evil. To me, this is evil. When you say a number and then you flip it, that's bait and switch. And I think that's actually illegal. And I think that there's got to be a lawyer somewhere who's like, this is ridiculous. These fake surges are illegal.
Yeah, no, it's been going on for years. But I have to give credit now for when it comes to this bonus or surge or whatever you want to call it, Lyft. No doubt that what you see on Lyft is what you get. And Tony, I know this from doing Lyft for a while as well as Uber.
Yeah.
When you're in a blood red sea with Lyft and you move from 7 to 8, it goes 7 to 8 and it sticks with you. It's a true sticky surge. Mm-hmm. Now, their numbers don't go up like Uber's, right? But Uber has this tendency of, okay, let me show them 28. And when they turn the app on, it's 14. And the next trip they're going to get is not even going to be from the area. We're going to give them something without surge from 4 miles away. I go like, why? Why all these games?
So when you say sticky, you mean if you keep driving through that circle and just keep driving even 10 minutes, your very next ride will actually be that surge that you were promised.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. It doesn't matter if it's right down the street or 15 miles away.
Yeah. Once you get to sticky. Yeah.
But so here's the thing. So this has been going on. This is all over the place. When I first started, I didn't know don't chase surge. I'm like, oh, I want that money. So I'm like, show me the money. So I went to go get the money. Granted, gas was like $4 cheaper than what it is right now. So it wasn't too bad. But as you kept getting closer, it's like a rainbow. You never actually get to the end of the rainbow. It keeps going as far. But then the other thing too, you go online, you open up your app and you see all those beautiful blood red numbers or extreme pink numbers at this point for Lyft. But Lyft is a little bit better. But on Uber side, you click go online, all of a sudden, everything drops. Even, it could be around you altogether. You turn it on, and then all of a sudden, surge is just around you, and you're not even in the surge anymore.
Yeah, you feel like surge kryptonite. It's like the blood red sea is part the Red Sea because you're there. I'm like, seriously? I mean, come on, right? So I'm like, I think surge baiting, or what you call it, bait and switch, right? It happens all the time. So you're right. Actually, Tony, you're just a sensible man. You say, why play these games?
Yeah.
Show me what I got, right?
Here's the other thing, though. Lyft does do something that's real sneaky, too. They don't show you the accurate GPS times. So when the ping comes up, it'll say 8 minutes away. When you click accept, it's really 12 minutes away.
Yeah.
And like that. I caught on that one real quick because for Lyft, I'm very picky when I accept the Lyft.
But the other one that the other one that Lyft does that we talk quite frequently is the switcheroo, right?
Yeah.
So
that's why
you'll get that. But anyway, so I have a suggestion. If you watch podcasts, they use a service called Discord. Can someone in the area start Discord for everyone? Okay. Well, yeah, we were thinking about it, Brian. I appreciate the comment. So let's segue into what happened with Lyft. To prove the power of the driver, baby. Okay.
This was the power of Lyft, or the
this is Lyft. This is Lyft. This is power of the driver. Okay. Are you watching, Gary? Check this out. All right. So I have a friend in LA. We all know him. He's WeZoom. Okay. He's working his ass off. He's killing it, and he's a great driver and drives the Tesla Y, and he's got all these things going, which is awesome. So we text quite a bit back and forth. So he's like become my eyes on the road now, right? So look at his screenshot time. Okay, what's it say on the upper left-hand corner? Because he has an iOS, loser. But
whoa! Watch it.
So anyway, 3:13 p.m. Right? So for 1 second before he was approved, he had a Tesla Model Y approved on the Lyft platform, right? So he goes, well, I'm just going to log on, right? And take some of that money that you guys are seeing. Now, he turns his app on. It says vehicle not approved. So what happens is that the Lyft system in LA did not recognize that these drivers, I don't know, maybe 20%, 30%, 50%, maybe all drivers. I don't know what the number is, but it's an appreciable enough number. Now look at the middle screenshot. That's my screenshot, 3:59 p.m. So now it's 45 minutes. Look at those numbers. You will never, and those are true surge numbers, by the way, $49, $50, $40, all over the place, right? And the next one is 4:20 p.m. So now from the time Lyft glitch happened, 3:13 to 4:20, that's an hour and 7 minutes. that what happened. So this is exactly what I said we should do to these guys, right? So the system said, shit, we don't have enough drivers. Look what the algo did. Look what the algo did. You remember I asked you supply demand, Tony?
Yeah.
Right? And you said it'll surge like hell, right?
Yeah.
Some engineer definitely got fired for that one.
Okay,
look what happened.
Why don't these companies text us? They text us for nonsense. Why not text us
just
for
turn
that?
your app on and make $50? Of course not.
You wouldn't turn on your app if they got a text?
If I was in the city, if my car was approved for that second, because obviously probably half the drivers got eliminated out of the system.
Yeah.
And the algo hits the crapper. Algo goes, oh my God, I have 800 requests coming in this 30-second period, and I have 4 drivers. So how do I have these 4 drivers turn their apps on?
Everybody's going to share that.
Right? So what does that prove? That proves that the drivers are in charge. So we can, if this happened organically, internally on Lyft on its own. Nothing happened. The system messed up, did not see all the drivers, available, and didn't approve their cars. And for an hour, if you could turn your app on Lyft, every ride would be plus 40, plus 50. And there were some people who took the money.
That'll ripple for a while too.
That's an hour. It's a whole hour.
No. That'll ripple longer too, because you'll have drivers coming on in pockets, and then they're trying to adjust the rides. Like whenever there's a Bills game that's going on a Sunday, you have 70,000 fans who are leaving the stadium. Not everybody's going to be ordering Uber or Lyft, but that means it's going to be pulling drivers all from downtown Buffalo, from the north towns, from the east towns. All of them are going to go towards the stadium, and then it's going to leave this influx between those areas. So the rest of the night, you'll see it go back and forth. You'll see all the drivers then go to the north towns, and then you'll have surge happening back in the south towns around the stadium and all that. So it will ripple too for probably, not just the hour, but probably longer.
So I see somebody says Surge Club. I wrote an article like 3 years ago called Surge Club. You go read that. But that's not the point. The point is this.
That was airports.
This shows that the algos go wild when there is not enough drivers and the demand is still constant. Yeah. So if this was created by a glitch in the Uber system, the Lyft system, why can't we intentionally create this anytime we want as drivers?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because just like all the Uber strikes over time, there's not a good union of drivers.
No, we don't talk about strike. You know how you make them do it? When they can grab a $40 flat rate surge and do a couple of rides, make $100 in an hour. Guess what? Money talks, bullshit walks.
Okay,
those strikes are meaningless. They're just for media and whatever. But now you have actual money hitting their pockets, because guess what? The glitch. By the way, Lyft is not going to take that money away from you. It's their mess.
Yeah.
So all you do, they're going to. Middleton Technologies, you're right. Okay, I need to talk to Gary. But anyway, so you do 2-3 rides. Okay, imagine you are out there. Okay, Tony?
Yes.
And you look at the Lyft, it's like $50 surge, and you turned it, boom, 50 stickies on there, you did a trip.
I would text you right away if that happened.
Well, take a screenshot and send it to me, because this happens, by the way, quite a bit. This happens at least once a week.
I need people to text me. See, that's the app I want. You guys text me that shit, because here's what I heard. I heard that most drivers only last 90 days. So,
no, it's longer.
Is it a year?
There is a communication app that is designed for drivers. So that app is already up. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Cheeky Chops, that's never going to happen. They said he wouldn't come near me with a restraining order. And Surge with Sergio. Yeah, I like that one. Because you know what? I'm telling you, if we do this, if we stick around, LA is not that big, Tony. It's big, but, we have like, I don't know, at a given time, we probably have 20, 30,000 drivers in that, where you live, to Santa Monica, to downtown, to Inglewood, right? In that hot zone.
Yeah.
We probably have not more than 15, 20,000 drivers.
But you think that you can even get half of those people all to join the same app and
to make $50 an hour?
You'd have to do a lot of on the ground work. a lot.
How hard would it be to get 10,000 people on a? I mean, God, man, there are Facebook groups that are more than 10,000 people. How hard is it to have people say, bro, just turn your app on, stop taking these garbage requests. Okay. If you take all the stuff that you do, you're going to make $22 an hour.
Yeah.
Online time, let's say. If you play my game, you're going to make $50 an hour, and you probably have to do half the amount of trips that you're going to do. So we dictate, and then maybe when it hits their pocketbooks, because let me tell you something. If you took that $50 surge on Lyft and did a trip, Lyft lost their ass on that trip. They did not charge a passenger $50.
They didn't.
They did not. They did not. They charge them like the regular fare because the system is glitching and all that good stuff is happening. Yeah, it's not good.
So they eat it. Dude, they're eating a lot right now. We'll talk about the bonus they're sending me in a little while, but
I asked this because yesterday, Sergio, I got a miracle. I was not in the $20 flat surge area. I was in the $8, but I had to drive 13 minutes to go to Hollywood to pick up somebody at the airport at 6:30 in the morning to take them to the airport. And they gave me that $20 surge.
Yeah, because you know why? Because the passenger was in a $20 surge area.
Yes. And so when I looked at what the passenger paid $88 to go from Hollywood to LAX. And so I feel like Uber did charge them for that surge. But
you're saying do, but that's under regular circumstances. It's not artificially created surge. That's just because there's pure demand there, right? So we're just going to create our own surge. We're like we're going to create our own wave. So 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. I'm telling you, bro, those algos will go ape shit. They wouldn't know what to do with it. Okay. I'm telling you, they wouldn't know because you want to play the game. You want to bait and switch. Let's play the game. Let's see. Let's see how many of you Uber employees can get on the streets and make that stuff up, right? Let's go. So you want to play the game? We'll play the game. But then drivers don't stick around, or not around long enough, but they're not together. We need to be together, man.
I have a much simpler solution. You don't have to do on the ground effort. You don't have to, reach out to YouTube, Facebook, anything like that. A real simple solution that either one of these companies could use very easily. Drivers would be happy. They'd be happy. All you got to do, bring back, name your price for all drivers and just do a multiplier rate up to 5x. I'm okay with that. The baseline, you can't go under 1. Right. So there's no cheapos going out there saying, oh, I'll do it for 0.8 so I can get all the rides. No. The base is 1x up to 5x. If you want to do, 2x, 3x, if you want to do 1x, whatever, that's up to you. And then you have your surge or whatever bonuses, structures that you have, but you still have the ability to choose what multiplier you want to have.
Yeah, but you know what? That's going to be like Hunger Games. There's going to be always an idiot that beats you at a lower surge than you.
But fine, let him take that stupid ride at one times to far away. Get him off the map. Chris, I love this because to me, this speaks directly to Prop 22. If we're truly independent contractors and I'm a plumber and I only want to charge $20 to fix your toilet, but me and Sergio want to charge you what it's worth, $60, then believe it or not, I bet you me and Sergio will still get business. And if we don't, then we starve and we die, or we have to lower our price. Let the market decide. And meanwhile, we will get desperate from time to time. I will be out in West Covina once in a while, and I will drop my multiplier down. Yep. As long as you give me a destination that's accurate, that will send me back home, I'll go home at a cheaper rate. But at 6 o'clock in the morning, I really don't want to go to the airport that early. I want to kind of stay in my little neighborhood. So if you're going to make me go to the airport, make it worth my while. And so again, these companies have always sworn that they're technology companies, not transportation companies. And I don't like to call them liars, but I feel like that they're not telling the full truth when they're so capable of technology.
Calls it like you see it. Yeah. Calls it like I sees it.
Yes.
And that's the whole thing. Like what California did between the time of AB5 and Prop 22, because they wanted drivers to look like independent contractors. So when they went to court, it would not pass the ABC test. They were trying to get on a stipulation. likely it probably wouldn't have succeeded, but still, you were able to name your own price. Yeah, I believe you were able to see the pickup and drop off. I don't think you were able to see the fare though at that point, but there was a lot of things that the acceptance rate didn't matter. A couple of different things there, but that name your own price. Oh, and flat rate went back to multiplier. There might have been one or two other things. I don't remember. Sergio, if you remember, let me know.
Yeah, Yeah, you go ahead. Finish your thought.
But right off the bat, for anybody who says, "Oh, yeah, I'm an independent contractor," why did they make those changes all of a sudden? Because AB5 passed in California, make all drivers in California be able to have those abilities, like name your price, like the pickup and drop off, not caring about acceptance rate, those types of things, just to try to win a suit saying, are you an independent contractor or are you an employee?
Well, I think, we all know we all want to be independent contractors, and honestly, but I think my point is drivers have the power and they don't know it. And that's why I call them names, which I'm not going to do today. So you guys have the power, honestly, and I'm telling you, this happened in like DC airport about 3 years ago, and Uber and Lyft were all crying. They all said it's illegal. It's against the terms of service. I'm like, buddy, you telling me I have the freedom and flexibility to turn my app on and off when I want. It just magically says that all 8,000 of us wanted to turn our app off because we have to go take a piss. What are you going to do? You're going to punish me for it? Huh?
Yeah. Or because we want to.
Yeah.
We're not the employee.
Yeah.
Pretend we all wanted to take Sunday off. Now that would screw them.
Oh my God. So my thing is,
airport day, we all
would be singing to you. You know how you weren't getting notifications before? It'll be like, it's so busy out right now. Come online.
I agree. So you know what? I think this is very doable, especially in a densely populated area like LA. That we show them who we are, and I go, I'm not willing to drive for 60 cents a mile.
It's crazy.
At morning rush hour. Okay.
Can I ask you guys this because you're the experts? Is LA the lowest priced big city? Big city?
That's lower.
There's cities that are like
but in big cities.
Big cities, yeah. Big cities, probably LA is in the tops, yeah.
What's
the biggest market
behind that? Don't you think Uber would make money if they just, oh my God, $1 a mile? People would stop taking Uber?
No.
Is that what they're afraid of?
That's proven that in Washington State, in Seattle, and in this, they passed these laws. The legislatures got involved. So in Seattle, they get paid like $1.25 a mile and 40 cents a minute, which is exactly double of what we have.
Right.
Uber demand did not wane whatsoever at all.
What's stopping them?
They're greedy bastards.
Don't they make more money by having higher fares?
Well, they are charging higher. They're charging 100% more, but they're not passing it on to you. They are charging higher.
They want to keep pay low for drivers. They want to charge customers more, and then they want to pocket that difference.
Yeah. Okay. Is it okay? By the way, thank you for having me on this show because I have so many questions for both of you guys.
That's all right. I want to get a question after you ask this one. I want to get one from Cheeky.
Does it make sense to screw over the drivers and only have an 8-month turnover?
Yes. You know why? Yeah, no, not to me. Not to me. To them, it does. Because from the first day, they have this attitude, burn and churn attitude. Because they're thinking they have unlimited supply of idiots. See, I did it again. God damn it.
Okay.
Unlimited supply of not math challenged drivers.
I would say
going to drive for peanuts. Look, Tony, if you are head of Uber and there are people willing to drive for anything, would you give him money? Free willy? No.
But those people will take the bad rides. If I'm in charge of Uber, I want all the drivers. I don't want just a small portion of drivers.
Now you're getting into the next the algorithms.
What has happened in 12 years of Uber? Has the service as far as driver quality and car quality, declined or gotten better? Definitely declined.
Yeah.
Because when you go through this churn and burn, you're attracting people who don't know how to read GPS, who don't know their city. They're just doing it just to do a couple hours here and there, right?
Yep.
And the passenger is paying higher fares, but they're suffering from lack of good service. And guess what? Uber was the one that was complaining about cabs being dirty, being old, being smelly. Man, I've gotten picked up by some Ubers that like one guy's bumper was hanging on the ground, and I'm like, what happened to this service? It's garbage. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this all could be fixed. Bring Seattle rates, $1.25, 40 cents. You would work with no surge, wouldn't you, Tony? I would work with no surge.
Absolutely. I would work, but I would work more hours.
Yes.
Have my ass out in the, isn't that what they want? And I'm a good driver. Like, don't they want more and more good drivers to last longer and longer?
Here's the thing, though, too. The algorithm over its extensive life cycle of taking billions of rides has learned quite a few things. And now that's why they're employing it. So, this whole upfront earnings thing, they could dial in. They could create a driver profile on Sergio, you, myself, everybody in the chat. They could create different profiles and say, okay, this person has the highest likelihood of taking a shitty ride. We're going to give him that one first.
Right.
They say yes. Well, then they pay him peanuts.
Yeah.
That driver says, you know what? I'm not going to take that one. A couple of things now can happen. It's machine learning algorithms. So that means the algorithm could say, hey, the ant did not take the order. Sergio, that's on you, not me. Right. The ant could take the order or the ride. And then if they don't do that, then that's where the algorithm will say, oh, wait, maybe this is priced too low. And now they have to readjust certain things. But the thing is, what it's going to try to do is they could say, okay, you're making 60 cents a mile in LA. I make 67 cents in Buffalo, at least until upfront earnings came. Now it's a crapshoot. But either way, they could say, okay, well, now we're going to start kind of dropping it a little bit. So now instead of 67 cents, we're going to do it 66.4 cents per mile. We're going to drop it to 63 cents a mile. And then all of a sudden you're going to start getting lower and lower, but you're getting conditioned. Oh, okay, this ride right here, this distance, this length, this is what I'm used to. And then it slowly starts dropping. Like if you watch your earnings, start taking screenshots of all your earnings, your pickup, your drop off, all that. 6 months time, take those screenshots again. See if there's any difference between the distance and the time when you're in that car, and see if they're dropping a little bit. Or again, that person who takes the ride, they might say, okay, or the algorithm might say, yeah, we need to bump up. So instead of going to 63 cents, they're like, okay, that's too low. We got to go up to 64 cents. That's our floor. But that's for one driver.
Yeah.
The other driver,
remember, that's what DK said during Harry's interview. Yep. The reason we're going to have a lot of rejected rides is because he goes, we're not pricing rides correctly. Sir, you haven't been pricing rides correctly for 12 years. We know why you're doing, but that's not the issue. The issue is when, like, there was one comment here that said, it's gone now. Somebody said, if rates were $1 a mile, I would drive 12 hours. Exactly what you said, Tony.
There you go.
Don't give me the garbage. Don't give me the garbage, Quest or all this bullshit, right? Leave the surge alone and give me $1, whatever it is. And then you'll have happy drivers driving, shutting up. They don't even bitch and complain, and none of this would happen. You know what I mean? But so, yeah.
And pass that 60 cents to the customer who will pay.
Yeah.
They're perfectly okay with paying.
Yeah.
I've never heard, I've been back in the game now for over 2 months.
Yeah.
I've never heard a customer complain about price.
They don't. And you know what? They're paying 50 to 80% more than 2019. They're not complaining. And the demand is exactly what it was pre-pandemic now.
Right.
So they raised the fares.
It's actually a little higher at this point right now.
Yeah. So
they complain about having drivers cancel on them before they, and time. And so to me, I if there's more drivers out there, they wouldn't have those problems. I feel.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right. What do we want? What next topic do we want?
Whatever you want.
Other questions.
I thought Tony, Driven Dad. Did you get your hat, Tony? Did you? Okay, just say yes or no. That hat right there, Tony's wearing.
Who's asking?
So. Anyway, this whole panel is too logical. Uber does not care about logic.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you talk about it enough, it gets in people's mind, and other people can watch it. And
Mr. Gambit, how about you join my club, the Surge Club, and then say, okay, apps off, and let's wipe these guys out, collect $30, Lyft. You wouldn't be saying too logical then, would you now?
Yeah, playing.
I thought so. Yeah, so I'm like,
here's the thing: you cannot play the game, or no. Wait, what was this saying? You can't play the game if you don't know you're playing. Something like that. I can't remember now.
We play the game as much as okay, I'm there. Okay, there you go. If you're in LA, bro, send me an email, and then maybe we can start the club.
Let me ask you guys this then: why doesn't Lyft do these things? Why does Lyft always have to do what its older brother does? Instead of saying, "Oh, my older brother's terrible at all these things. Maybe I should try it a little bit."
Yeah.
Because Lyft is the little tree that never got enough sunshine because Uber grew taller.
Okay, that's fine.
Actually, you know what? We'll take that back. Lyft does do a few things that is much better, but the problem with that is, though, why don't they do everything better?
Right.
Because if they're going to copycat like they are, they should say, okay, we have a sample set. We see what drivers are saying in Reddits, on YouTube, on Facebook.
Yep.
We can say, okay, this is the negatives. Can we make it work taking out some of those negatives? Yes. Some things they have, other things they clearly haven't. They still don't get it. That's why my ride count is 5 times lower on Lyft than it is on Uber, just because they still do that switcheroo on Lyft after you accept the ride. No, I want that ride. I accepted that ride. I don't want to be rerouted when I'm turning left and now I have to turn right. It doesn't make any sense.
But, okay, so Cheeky Chop says problem 120 people in this chat and there's millions of drivers. Yes, we agree. Yep. But when those drivers get the taste of real money they can make and how they're being limited by these companies, I'll bet you anything. Money talks, bullshit walks. They'll be going following right down, right behind the leaders of the group saying that, hey, between 7:30 and 7:45, all apps off in Santa Monica. What will happen there, Tony? Honestly, what would happen there? I'd be sitting at Vaughn's 7:45, 7:46, and the algo is gonna go, oh damn. I have no drivers and I have 700 people requesting trips. Oh, let's start with $10. No, we'll wait another 30 seconds. Let's go 15. No. Let's go 20. At 20, some people will just give in and turn the apps on. I'll personally wait until 30. Maybe there is some other more patient guy wait until 40. All I have to do is one single trip from there to LAX. That's my $50 an hour. Okay. That's like 20-minute trip. And I just and then we wash, rinse, repeat again. And easy, quality over quantity. Okay. That's it. There you go.
All right. So you had sent us a couple of screenshots just a little bit ago. So we'll get into that. So if you want to talk about that, but before we get into that, if you didn't know and you want to listen to this, we do have the audio version of the show on all podcasting platforms. So if you do enjoy or miss the live show, we want you to be on the live show. You can participate in the live chat and all that. But if you enjoy listening to the audio version of it, again, it's on all major podcasts. I just wanted to let you know there. And Tony, if you want to...
Tony, talk about your own search baiting this morning, Tony.
Okay, so do I have a third screenshot, Chris?
Yeah, it's on the next page. Did you want that one first?
Yeah. Give me the okay. So this is me approaching the $8.25 surge. Now, what I've learned is I've got to have my ass right where that number is. Being close isn't good enough. I have to actually be on that little street. And sometimes the number is on like a railroad track or in the middle of a park.
The runway.
Right. I've got to run, I got to get out of my car. I don't do that. But I'm saying I've got to find that street and I've got to get to that street. So this is downtown LA, probably I think about 5:30 p.m. And I was close enough that I could actually get to it. Now, if you go back to the next screen.
Hold on 1 second.
when I finally made it to this little tiny baby street, if you can zoom in on the one on the right, can you? If you can't, that's fine. So I finally made it there. I'm on it. And it still gives me only $5.50. It's like, thanks for the $3.50, Tony, you idiot. You're chasing the surge. You broke the commandment. You don't deserve the money because you went for it. And
now the question is, where did the $3.50 go?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Guess who paid for that?
But the deeper question that I have
the passenger
Uber, the deeper question I have for Uber is, why do you think that this is a good thing to do to your driver? Because if I was close to home, I would just stop. I'd say, screw you. Either you stole my $3.50 or that $3.50 was never there at the beginning and you suck and I hate you and I'm going to learn a trade. I'm going to go back to college. I'm going to do anything other than this because this is a lie. And why would you, what is the purpose of just every day just stabbing me? Surge after surge, just hurting me. Why are you doing this to your fleet of people? You have all this money, kind of. You don't really make it, but you do. But like, why would you do this to the people who are out there in the heat with our masks? Like, why are you doing this to us? I don't get it. I don't see what the end game is.
They do it because they can.
Well, but okay, I guess.
And they do it because they can. Not only that, Tony, they do it because most drivers don't have our attitude. Most drivers are honestly not even paying attention because Uber knows a majority of drivers don't pay any attention to this stuff. Okay? They just do their 8-hour shift, especially full-timers. Yeah. And they go on. You know, there'll be a baiting a little bit here. I lost $3 on this chip. I lost $4 on this chip. But then overall, I made my $23 an hour gross. I'm happy. I'm going home.
Right.
That's the damn problem. The drivers are content with what they're being offered. If it wasn't, and Uber ran out of drivers, that Lyft picture would happen constantly all day long, which was happening, by the way, after the pandemic.
That's what happened during the pandemic. You didn't have drivers out there.
It was happening.
There was rides happening. It was bleeding.
Yeah, absolutely. So my thing is now, unfortunately, because of the economy and the inflation and all the situation we're going through, there is people whose W-2 incomes are not enough and they want to supplement and they're all out there driving. And first time in a long time, Uber and Lyft have plenty of drivers who are willing to drive because I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. They need to put food on the table. They don't have enough money to buy food and they're going to work 4 extra hours. If Uber pays them 18, they're happy with it. If Uber pays them 22, they're happy with it. And that's what they're going to do. And they're going to take advantage of that. And a lot of people say, oh, that's not taking advantage of. Well, you are being taken advantage of. So if you don't question authority, right, why are we here on this planet? I mean, we're in the country that we can question authority, right? If I was in Iraq and I called the president of Iraq, you're an asshole, my dog, my family, my whole neighborhood would be killed immediately. Here, you can go in front of the White House and put up a sign and say, hey, whatever, president, you're an asshole. You'll just be sitting there and then people will take your pictures. Tourists will take your pictures. Nothing will happen to you, right? So we're in a country that we should question authority. We're allowed to question authority. So that's what I'm trying to kind of get across, saying that people, wake up. You have the power. We as drivers have the power. If I don't pick up that food, you're not going to eat. If I don't pick you up, you're not going to LAX. So pay me what I deserve, as opposed to play these games with me.
Or pay me what you're advertising. You're advertising it right now. Just get what is so hard with just giving it to us? Or don't advertise it. Advertise $5.50. Oh my God! Advertise $4.50 and give me $5.50.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I'll drive longer.
Lowball everybody, and then we're gonna up.
You know how
fast people would flip, and they'd be, oh my God, Uber actually gave me more. Do you think it was?
What a great idea! What a great idea!
That would boost morale. Like,
wouldn't it?
It would flip like a dime.
Okay, I've got a better idea. Okay, so that's idea number one.
Dara, are you watching this? This is lesson.
No, he is.
101.
There's no
that's okay. But you know what? Somebody's watching. I guarantee it.
So here's another idea.
There's another idea. Hold on.
There needs to be a big tip screen mid-ride. How is Sergio doing? how about just tip him your 15% now? And every 2,000 drivers that tip today, we're gonna put all of your passengers in a hat, and the winner every day gets $3,000 added to your Uber
That's
account.
too complicated. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But
they're a tech company.
They're not a tech company. They're a cab company with an app. They're not a tech company. Who told you? Who told you they're a tech company?
With Google Maps.
They did. They told me.
They did? Okay, no, it's not going to happen. They're not a tech company.
Right after they told me that surge was 850, they told me that.
Yeah, right after that, they just stoop you with the
well, that tech sure seems to work really well.
Yeah. Well, did you? By the way, did you get that 550? Did you get a trip?
550.
You got the 550?
A lovely young lady. Yeah.
Okay.
You're saying sometimes I don't even get the 550?
No. What happens is that lucky enough they gave you the 550 because when you're in a high surge area and you turn the app on, right?
Yeah.
Before the sticky even is stuck to you, right? They'll like throw you this like 18 minutes, 17-mile away trip with no surge. And then you go, screw that. I don't want it. And then, but then until because Tony, the passenger algorithm, we're going to prove this. The passenger algorithm is about 60 to 90 seconds ahead of the driver algorithm. So the passenger gets the first crack at that high fare, right? And then Uber says, okay, so that surge that you're seeing is always on a delay. Because if you price rides on your passenger, I'm sure you have a passenger app, price rides, there will be like no surge where you are, right? And then I would price a ride from where I'm at to my house, which is pre-populated in the app. It'll be like $70. Well, I know it's not $70 without surge. I know it's like a $40 trip.
Right.
And then miraculously, about 60, 70, 80 seconds later, poof, the surge will show up. So they screw the passenger first, and then they'll go, okay, let's see how much we can have surge do this trip for. 38, no good. 40, no good. 45, 50. Okay, well, at some point, some driver is going to say, take it, I'll take it. It's a good deal, right?
Yeah.
So there's a contract made and to the next ride. That's what they're doing with the upfront fares now. They're showing the driver the money after they were able to lock in a passenger at a much higher price. So now they're guaranteeing a profit on every trip as opposed to losing on one, making on one, losing on one, breaking even on the other one. Now they got a guaranteed thing going. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to happen. And we'll talk about that on a later show. But so tell me these things. What about, so you've been driving Uber on and off for 8 years, right?
Yeah.
Look, we had this discussion with a lot of people, and I think you're the perfect person to ask this to. What is it that you like about driving Uber? I know you're a very people person. I know you personally, so.
True.
But outside that, outside the money, right? Those are the two things. So why do you like driving Uber? Why do you like dealing with people who could have attitudes, obviously? So why? I mean, we know why you dislike Uber. You just pretty much said what you said.
Right. Those are my biggest problems against Uber is they're unfair for no good reason. I don't get this.
I agree.
They're losing billions of dollars anyways. Why be assholes about it? But the reason that I love Uber and ride sharing is I love the flexibility. I love Sergio. You were giving me tips a few months ago, and you said, well, if you get out there at 7:30 in the morning, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, 7:30 in the morning? If I can make my own hours, I'm not going to wake up at 7:30 in the morning. And you're like, okay, do what you want, but look at my beautiful house and my gorgeous wife. And I was like, all right, damn it. So now I'm waking up at 4 in the morning, Sergio, because I like that there's no traffic. I like that usually, except for Tuesdays that I learned today, usually it's surging a little bit at night. And when I was getting out there at 7, the traffic would hit at 7:30. And I was like, I didn't know that there's actually traffic. There's actually traffic at 6:30, which is why I'm waking up at 4. So anyways, I like it because I get to learn about LA, the city that I love so well and intimately. I love talking to the people. The people have incredible stories for me every day. I just, it's better than a podcast. No offense to everybody else with a podcast. No offense to me who's got a podcast, but these people in the back, once they start talking, they tell me incredible stories that I could never predict. And I vibe off of that. But also in a weird way, it's a game. This whole thing is like a weird little game, and I like the game. And what I don't like about the game is when they cheat at the game. Like the more that I learn, the more I should earn. But it's not like that. They keep effing with it.
Wait a minute, Chris, put up your screenshots from last week. You did good last week. I don't know. $34 online, more active. I mean, you did good last week. Yeah, you.
Okay, but did I get lucky, or did I actually learn? Like, it's hard to know.
Once we do our boot camp, there's no more luck. There's no more luck. It's going to be like an autopilot robot. That's what.
Well, I did get a reservation, which I really hope that Uber and Lyft do more of. Although I don't think that it's a good value for the customer, and I would care if I was Dara, I would care about the customer.
Why do you care about the customer?
Because I want him to be happy. I want everyone to be
happy. No. You got this all wrong. You don't care about any of that. You don't care about any of that. They're paying what they're being charged, and they're not happy. They're not unhappy. You just said it before. Nobody complains about higher fares.
You're right.
Well, since when do you care about their pocketbook?
Okay. I mean, and you're right. I got paid, I think, $60 to go 3 miles, and he tipped me on top of it. So clearly he was happy with the fare.
You want to light your money on fire? It's your business, not your business. They want to light their money on fire. It's their business, not yours. So
then go back to the multiplier for the surge. Then.
Oh my God! From your mouth to God's ears. Yes.
Right. Because that was a game I loved. I was with Pretty Girl on New Year's Eve, and I was like, baby, we just drank our sip of champagne. I got to go out into the world right now because it's 5 times surging right now. And you're really cute, but you'll be cute tomorrow. This surge will not be here tomorrow.
Oh yeah, especially on New Year's.
Yeah, man. I love those days. Those, we reminisce. I reminisce with older drivers that were around those days. They go, hey, Serge, remember that the 405 to 105 trip that you extended 7-mile trip to like 22 miles at a 4X? I'm like, yeah, I remember. I wish I did that, but we don't have that. So, but if you look at it over history, though, incrementally, right? They always are cutting and less and less and less and less and less. And, it is what it is. I mean, but so those are the things you love about it, right? So, are you going to keep doing it?
Yeah, it's what's paying for my podcast right now. My podcast, just like what you experienced, Sergio, here in LA is kind of at the whim of the guest. So if the guest says 2:00 in Granada Hills, then my ass is in Granada Hills at 2:00. And now with ride sharing, that means I can get back on the road in the valley at 3:30 or whatever it is, and I can work. I don't have to ask some guy for permission, to have half of the day off. So I love that flexibility. I just wish that Uber would respect veteran drivers. And here's another idea for you, Dara, where everyone could win. We all have favorite passengers, and they have favorite drivers.
Yeah.
If I got you, Sergio, as a driver, and I liked you, I would maybe in the middle of the ride. Oh my God. Is Sergio one of your favorite drivers? Yes. So now the next time that I go on as a customer, it says, okay, your nearest driver is 5 minutes away, but Sergio is 7 minutes away. Would you pay $4 more for Sergio for this trip?
Another good idea.
They would say yes, and split that $2 with Uber. So now Uber makes $2 that they don't even deserve because you earned it all.
Wow.
And the passenger is happier, and the ride's going to be better. And I bet you that passenger
tip is going to,
I bet you they tip. But everybody's happy. I mean, am I Mary Poppins here? Like, doesn't that seem like what a technology company would do? And if I have a list after a while of 20 great drivers that I have on my list, let's hope that they're all still driving after a year. Yeah. Odds are that they're not, but whatever. Then Uber is making $2 additional all the time with these drivers, and the drivers are happier.
But if you look at the bigger picture, I think Uber has a much bigger picture in mind. as opposed to individual snippets of drivers here and there, right?
Yes.
Look, Tony, the system is immense.
Yeah.
Last 3 months, last quarter, they did 1.87 billion with a B rides.
Yeah.
So on all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think the best thing that they could do is, and look, we did studies actually on the RideShare Guy, right? So in every city, and this is a given, this is not that I'm doing food delivery, this is pretty evident now. So in any given city, there's 1,000 drivers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just like in any other business on the planet, honestly, there's going to be a group that excels at what they do, which is 5%, 5% maybe, right?
Yes.
There's going to be a group that absolutely sucks at what they do, which is another 5% on the bottom, right? And all the middle is going to fall somewhere. So obviously, there is a reason why that guy sucks, right? And there's a reason why this guy excels. So in that big group in the middle, I think everybody can incrementally improve themselves to the, not to the top 5%. But if you're driving 40 hours a week, okay, full time, let's say, and if you can improve your earnings by doing certain things, just $5 an hour, not great numbers, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? How much money that is? That's $200 a week. That's $800 a month. That's $10,000 a year. You're still doing the same driving for 40 hours. So my thing is educate. Why not improve everybody, right? Yes. And the only way you can do that is if we come together, and say, okay, we have the power. Yes, not everybody's going to be excelling. Not everybody's going to be sucking. But that middle group, we can move that middle group up, which is the majority of the, that's why I'm doing this, honestly, because I think it's very doable. It really is. So, yeah. What's the next one?
Well, let's get into some Prop 22. You've been switching from rideshare to food delivery.
Yeah.
So we could talk about that.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. So short. 56 trips, net fare 250, tips 280. The one in the middle, that's where it catches everybody's eye, is the Prop 22 money. So active hours, $50 an hour. Online hours, 22, 21, $22 an hour. I'm in the boondocks. There isn't the deliveries, but I cherry picked the crap out of it. And I know there's like a little tiff going on with all the geek tubers now saying, oh, Doordash this, do that, whatever. I'm not paying any attention. It's just delivery, people. You guys are taking yourselves way too seriously, man. Way too seriously. It's just food delivery, okay? One guy says I cracked the algorithm. The other guy says, no, you didn't. One guy says you suck. The other guy says you don't. One guy says active time. The other guy says online time. The other guy, who cares, man? It's just delivering food. So here you go. $700, $50 active, $22 online. And yeah, my area sucks. My utilization is horrible, but then I cherry pick the crap out of it. And then if I can put together $700 with the help of Prop 22, meaning walking slower to the restaurant, driving slower to the passenger, and having get paid extra money. By the way, you know what I figured out, Chris? That $166 they pay me for 2 weeks is for 2 weeks, right? It's better than any quest I'm going to do. Remember, they took my quest away. 54.80, let's say, right?
Yeah, my upcoming quest, the most I can make is $75 on Uber.
Yeah, there you go. That's not good enough.
Lyft, on the other hand, is showing the money.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to keep doing deliveries as opposed to do rideshare.
They took away you guys' quest because you hit too many quests?
No, they took away mine.
They're dropping it.
They took away mine because the system figured out that I'm doing more deliveries than rideshare. So I took the rideshare quest and applied it to deliveries, and they lost their ass. So after 2 weeks,
did your wife show up to a restaurant too?
Sergio, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm like, why? Where is the freedom? Where is the flexibility? But anyway, so they took my quest away. But now I figured out Prop 22 is more than my quest I would have been doing with rideshare anyway. So I drove a total of 175 miles, $700. That's $4 a mile. I don't think you can do that in rideshare. $50 an hour active time is pretty good. 2 hours or whatever I was out there. Yeah, but I'm being productive. So hey, Tony, this is how I'm doing it. So I dropped my son off at middle school, 8 o'clock. I dropped my daughter off at college at 8:30. So I do 2 hours morning rush hour, people ordering lattes and all that stuff, right?
Right.
Then I go home, have lunch, do my RSG shit, whatever I do. Then I go out for lunch hour because I know at 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, I'm going to pick up the kids. So I go, Driven Dad, $50 active hour. Are you pulling that down on DoorDash? I don't think so. So, then I do like lunch rush, right? Whatever it is, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever Uber gives me, mostly shit trips. But then I cherry pick, and then I do maybe like 3 out of 20 that they send me. And then I pick up the kids, come home, do more work, whatever I'm doing. Then my son 3 times a week has soccer practice from 5:30 to 7:30. I take him to soccer practice, drop him off. Instead of watching him run around, okay, I go do a couple more hours, right? Food delivery at dinner time. So it fits my schedule beautifully, right? And they just pay me $700. I'm like, oh, I take it.
And when you say cherry pick, you only take the most profitable deliveries.
Yes. No tip, no trip. No tip, no trip.
But you said that sometimes the tips are lies, though.
I have not been lied to yet. 216 deliveries so far. Never happened.
How many free food trips do you get?
I had 3 times free food out of 216.
So over 2 weeks, you got 3 free meals.
Yeah, 1 dinner and 2 lunches.
That's good enough for me.
No, because you go there and then they want it like handed to them. You call, nobody answers. You text, nobody answers. You have 7 minutes, just like you have in RideShare 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you have 7 minutes. Come get your shit.
Yeah.
You just paid like outrageous amount of money for this little box of food.
Yeah.
Why don't you come get it? They go, no, I'm not going to be there. I'm like, okay. All right. Then, at 7 minutes, dead, boom, cancel. Call Uber support. Hey, I have the food. You keep it because they're not going to make you return it. Right. I enjoyed the lunch. But it doesn't happen as often. But 3 times it happened out of 216 trips. Not that bad.
Yeah, it's a nice little bonus though. It's like a little tip in itself.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Driven Dad, how about that? $50 active hour. You think the guy in Vegas is doing that with the DoorDash?
Here's the problem. The only reason why that works is because of Prop 22.
No. Okay. Let's do this. $700. Okay. Take out the 166 that they paid me. Okay. Let's do the math. 700. Take out the 166. I'm at 560. I'm 540. Okay. 540 divided by 14. Still right about $40 an hour. So hey, it's all good. Honestly, I cherry picked the crap out of it. I love it. And Tony, there is no penalties in this one. There's no 5 out of 10.
I love that. Okay, so you got the prop money because you were online for so long?
No, I got the prop money because under Prop 22, the net fares, put that screenshot up one more time. I'll explain it to Tony. So do you see the net fares here where it says net fare $250, right?
Yep.
Okay. So do you see active hour? It says 14 hours and 11 minutes.
Yep.
Under Prop 22, you're supposed to get paid $19.20 per hour plus 30 cents a mile. So if you multiply, let's say $20, 14 hours, that's $280. Well, Uber's fares on delivery are so horrible that I only made $250. So there is that $30, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the difference. And I drove 410 miles these past 2 weeks for this. So you take that 30 plus 410 miles times 30 cents, it's $120. So they pay me the difference 2 weeks later.
Okay, these minutes and these miles.
Yeah.
Is that only for delivery or is that for Uber driving as well?
I did not do any Uber driving at all. I enjoyed delivery immensely.
Oh, we got a converter here.
So you were online for 20 extra hours waiting for the proper. So cherry picking actually pays off for you.
For cherry picking pays off for everything, but especially delivery. Absolutely. Do I get my share of garbage? Absolutely. $2.75 for 4 miles. I'm like, no, your food's going to sit there.
Yeah, but if you look at that,
I don't care.
That's the thing. If you look at that tip number, look at
that tip, Tony.
Much better because I
can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, if you're taking trips without tips, you could kiss that $279 goodbye.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you, Tony, online here live.
Yes, sir.
When you do your morning, the rideshare thing, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You're in Hollywood, bro. You would die. I mean, you would kill it there. Just do the lunch rush, and don't do anything. Don't do anything else. There you go.
So Uber in the morning, head back to Hollywood.
Wherever you end up, you don't have to. You can just turn. If you're in Santa Monica, do lunch in Santa Monica. Okay. There's no restriction. You can turn the app on and do whatever.
Is it hard to park? Do you have problems picking up the food quickly? What are some of the downfalls of delivery?
Downfalls. I'll tell you what the downfalls are. So you do it for a week, you'll get screwed by a couple of restaurants by waiting. But then you have Prop 22 money because they're paying you to stand there and collect the food, right? So you just under Prop 22, you're gonna make 22
money. We don't have that.
Suddenly I love Prop 22.
Now you love Prop 22, right?
Suddenly,
then the second thing is you will blackball some restaurants which are horrible. They have no back office or the systems in place to have the food ready. And then after a week, you'll figure out which restaurants are great. They have their shit together. Because every time I go to that restaurant, the food is ready, man. Right?
Yeah.
But every time I go to the McDonald's, garbage. Nothing.
Let me ask you about fast food then. Can you go through the drive-through? Do you have to?
Yes, you can. Yeah, but you don't want to. Yes, you can.
I don't want to go through the drive-through.
You don't want to do any of that. You don't want Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's. You don't even want to take those orders.
Oh, I don't.
Take like a lot of sushi restaurant orders, high, because there's
high tickets. Okay.
Don't forget to mention that Prop 20 works only because you're only doing. Yes, absolutely. WeZoom is right. We should put that up. If you're doing rideshare, you will never, ever, ever get Prop 22 money.
Oh.
Because you're always going to do more than what the Prop 22 promises you. So on food delivery, yes, you're going to probably get good Prop 22 money every 2 weeks.
So side note, did you get approved for DoorDash yet?
Not yet, man. And Grubhub. I don't have it. I don't know. DoorDash is like playing hard to get.
Do those companies do Prop 22 money too?
All of them in California. Prop 22 delivery, baby.
When you get approved, I'll sign me up as your friend.
Oh, okay. There you go. I don't know I don't think DoorDash is paying for any of that. But that's not the issue. The issue is you should try, like your Quest. You have a Quest, right?
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot like me and go to Quest jail, okay? Because then after 2 weeks, Uber will go, oh, Tony, you've been only doing deliveries. We're going to take your Quest away. So, pick it like a 50-trip Quest, right? Do like 60, 65% rideshare, 60%, 40% delivery. Take their Quest money, make them lose their ass, okay? And there's more money for you. So you use food delivery like a filler for you. And then next week, you'll get another Quest, rideshare Quest.
But it sounds like if I do too many Uber rides, one of the commenters said, WeZoom said, if I take too many, if I drive too much, that screws up my Prop 22 money. No?
Yeah. If you drive a lot, if you want Prop 22 money, you got to only do delivery. Only.
Okay.
Only.
So what if I drove 15 hours a week as Uber?
Whatever you want.
And the rest delivery. Would I still make Prop 22 money?
No, you won't. Because on rideshare, you will be busier, your utilization will be a lot higher, and the money you're making is going to be more than $19.20 an hour. Now, if you're getting, let me tell you this, if you're getting Prop 22 money and you're doing rideshare, you suck. Nobody doing half-ass good rideshare should get Prop 22 money.
Okay, let me ask you guys this question about destination filter.
Oh my God!
No.
Are you here?
I'm not complaining.
No, I know you're not.
The only time that I feel like I wait a long time for rides is when I have a destination filter going against the grain, not to the airport, but away from the airport.
Okay.
Isn't that good for the Prop 22 money?
No.
Still
Because
not
the
good.
Prop 22 money is on active time, meaning you're on the way to pick up or active time. They only gave it to active time because, if it was the other way, Tony, I'd be watching Netflix 40 hours in my car in my garage with the app on. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work. So, no. It's only on active time. So active time is by the time I walk to the restaurant now, because I walk to restaurants. And you know what? I've lost quite a bit of weight now. Because I'm taking at least 10,000 steps a day now, right? Because I park the car, I walk to the restaurant real slow, without killing it. And then I walk back to the car, and then I drive 2 miles to drop the food off. I drop the food off. And then I go to another cluster of restaurants, park in the parking lot, and there's like 10 restaurants. I know within 5 minutes I'm going to get something decent. Then I'll walk to that restaurant. I'll pick up the food. I drop it off.
Interesting.
So I think you know what? For you, if you want the Prop 22 money, you got to only do delivery. You can't do a mixture of both.
I love experimenting. So for 2 weeks,
for next week, go to only delivery.
Yeah, that works for me. Well, let me ask you one more question about ghost kitchens. Do you guys have ghost kitchens out in the Val?
Yes, we do. I learned that the other day.
Do you camp out by the ghost kitchens too sometimes?
Well, no, it's not exactly a ghost kitchen, but I called it a ghost kitchen. There is a, Doghouse. There is a place, the restaurant called Doghouse.
Hot dogs.
So I figured in my sweet zone, there is an area, there is a Doghouse. Okay. And right next to it, there is a Shake Shack. Exactly, like right next to each. So those things are so busy, and they're back, and then their systems, online ordering systems, are wonderful. Every time the food is ready, as busy as they are. So the other day I'm there, I get this ping from the Doghouse under the name of Crazy Burrito or some other shit, right? I go, where is this place? I go, it's not there. It's not here. I don't know where it is. So I go into the Doghouse. I go, what is this? I go, oh yeah. He goes, it's our brand. They have 6 brands out of that one kitchen that they pump out tacos, burritos, burgers, whatever the heck it is, right?
Yeah.
Well, sure enough, now that I know that there's 6 brands, so that's like 6 restaurants in one, and Shake Shack next to it, money right there.
Right.
You just go park right there, baby. It's like, okay, give me the money. Yeah.
So the issue the question I have for you is, we've got a ghost kitchen on Western, just south of Melrose.
Are they on Uber Eats? Are they on Uber Eats? You don't know.
Well, this is my question. All I see are drivers, double parked in the everywhere.
Oh, definitely,
It seems like the bad scene to take it there.
Yeah.
But maybe because there are so many drivers, maybe it's actually good. Do you know?
There are so many good. There are so many, so much demand, right? But imagine during the pandemic how this demand was. If the demand is that good now, well, actually, it's not that good. A lot of DoorDashers are crying because they're going like, we're not making money anymore. It's because, business is down. I mean, like when people were sitting at home, they were ordering food right and left 3 times a day. Now they're not, they're doing it once a week. So yeah, all the channel checks I do, definitely delivery business is slower, but you have to figure out, like these ghost type kitchens with all the drivers. So the demand is still there, not to feed every single driver online, because, it's difficult, right? Yeah. Because I compared actually my numbers with another driver in the Valley while I was waiting at Chick-fil-A. So I know, let's say at Chick-fil-A, order is going to be there, but 3 minutes late. So I go slower. I walk slower to Chick-fil-A. So there was this other guy there.
He's running.
He's doing Uber Eats. He's like running to Chick-fil-A. I'm like, what an idiot. Why are you running? It's not going to be ready. So I go inside finally. I pick up my bag and I see he's still waiting with his green light on Uber Eats. I go, you do Uber Eats? He goes, yeah. I go, can I see how much money you made this week? So I show him my numbers and he shows his numbers. Literally, his numbers were like half as mine. So that means what? Again, even in delivery, I'm not boasting doing this. That means there is strategy involved in this thing too.
Yes.
You have to do it with strategy. If you don't have strategy, and I'm not sucking on Prop 22 money, I have a strategy, but it doesn't hurt. $170 every 2 weeks. So to me, here's the advantage of food delivery over RideShare. Literally, I'm within 7 miles of my house at max. I can go home anytime I want, because in RideShare, if you took a ride to Long Beach, now you're going to pray to catch a ride to LAX and then back to Hollywood, right? So much less miles, much less wear and tear on the car. And it's more money that I was making in RideShare anyway. So next week, let's try it, Tony. You do Hollywood, I do Granada Hills. I'll bet you kick my ass.
You're an influencer, Sergio. God bless you. You've influenced me.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, I'll bet you make good money with much less work.
Who doesn't want that?
There you go. So, all
right. And then our other topic, we got some ride challenges.
Oh yeah, WeZoom is going to cry on this one. Thank you for the super chat, WeZoom. For the love of God, hit the like, guys. You know what? Let me tell you something. I mean, you guys don't hit the like button. Algorithms don't like it, and then this doesn't get pushed out. But somehow, every one of these live streams ends up getting like crazy views after like 3 days. I don't know how that works. So here's the numbers on the right, in the blue corner. We have WeZooms. This is your numbers, WeZoom. Read them and weep. This is the exact same week, by the way, people. This is how much Lyft shows love to some drivers. And Jeff, are you still here? This is from South Carolina, Jeff. Guess whose numbers these are? These are Roxy's numbers. Roxy was like a killer lady on our podcast. The one on the left is from Roxy. The one on the right is from WeZoom. He's in LA, and Roxy, the Uber Winterbird, and my article is coming out on that one. What an amazing lady, Tony. You got to read that article. I'll send you the link. Okay. 62 years old, bust her ass, kills it out there, bro. Energy, that's enough for all three of us on the panel. You know what I'm saying?
What neighborhood?
When there is no neighborhood. She drives in 5 different cities.
What neighborhood does she live in?
She's not in LA. She's in South Carolina now. And then she's moving to Memphis for the NFL season. Then she's going to move down to San Antonio for the winter. That's why I call her the Uber Winterbird. As opposed to the Snowbird.
So these numbers on the left are what city?
South Carolina. Charleston.
So they're that desperate for drivers to stay online.
There. And here on the right, WeZoom numbers from LA. And WeZoom does quite a bit of Lyft. So look at those numbers. If you total all three up, it's like 29, 30,
wow,
$50. The other one, 240, 350, let's say. That's like 550 right there for like doing 8,300, 125 trips. Think about that.
I have that beat right now from Lyft.
Oh, you have your screenshot next?
I don't have a screenshot, but I'm sure everybody's going to hate me right now when WeZoom. If those are your screenshots over there for the 15, 40, and 21, Lyft is doing promo. Now here's the crazy part. So I've scaled back my driving quite a bit. I've been out the last 2 weeks because I'm testing Lyft's upfront trip details because I have that in my market. I'm also testing out something else that I have. I can't say it yet because I want to get all the details on it and I'm working it. But I was out last week. I was out the week before. I get an email from Lyft. They're like, "Oh, we miss you. You should come back and drive." Like, I was just on your platform. But they're offering me 60 rides for $700 bonus, not guarantee, bonus. Hell yeah. So I will be on the Lyft platform this weekend doing all 60 rides.
Okay, I have to teach you my DF strategy. So we can knock that 60 out in like 3 days, 2 days, 2.5 days. So WeZoom gets $60 and the other lady gets $600. So that means what? We all moved to Charleston. Jeff, we're all coming. Are you getting these? You're not on Lyft though. See, that's the problem. Yeah, that's stupid money. I mean, why, right? That means they're desperate for drivers.
WeZoom.
yeah, he's not going to send me any Christmas gifts. I know we're divorcing. So $600 versus $60. So here you go. I mean, why? Why this variability, right, Tony? Think about that, right? Why does one Lyft driver in LA get nothing and then the other driver in South Carolina gets this, right? Well, that's because there's demand and not enough supply, and if you're lucky to get it, you go knock it out.
Call me crazy, but if you treated your drivers right in these smaller cities, you wouldn't need to bribe them like that.
I agree. And last but not least, so I haven't driven Lyft for 2 months, solid, at least maybe 2.5 months. So slowly, this is my numbers. Now they go, I got the same email, by the way, Chris. They said, "We miss you. All you have to do is turn your app on." I'm like, no, thank you.
They didn't give you no bonus, nothing?
No. This is mine. This is mine.
Oh, you got
they gave me shit $9 streaks every hour on the hour. Look at this all day long. So I said, okay, if these go 3 for $18 every hour on the hour, I'll consider turning the app on and knocking those out for a day. You know what I mean? This is every hour on the hour, 5 to 6, 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10. Okay, you want to lock me up? You got to show me better than 9, not 9.
I got a question about the 9. That's a 9 for the total of all 3 rides?
No, that's not an extra on top of the rides.
So you don't want the 9 on top of each ride?
Not each ride. For $3 a ride. It's a streak of 3.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So if these used to be 18s and 21s during the pandemic, now but before they haven't even shown me this.
Yeah.
Now they're going like, okay, we missed this guy. Where's this guy?
And that means you have to accept 3 in a row.
3 in a row. And guess what, Tony? You haven't done this before. I'm sure you're not yet anyway. On Lyft. Do you have Lyft?
Yeah, but I'm confused by Lyft.
Why?
I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to work.
We're gonna do the boot camp. I'll do the Lyft. But on Lyft, you don't see any destination, by the way. 0, nothing. Well, you don't see anything, right?
Yeah.
But so
ever.
Never.
No, they're
not ever. Not in
upfront pay, and they're doing upfront trip details.
They're testing it. They're testing. So on that 9, Tony, right? On the third ride, they will send you to Timbuktu to pick somebody up. The algorithm will.
Oh, even just to pick them up, you got to go out there.
Yeah. Because they know you're on the 3rd. They go like, well, if you don't do it.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing, though. If they're doing 1 billion rides.
Yeah.
They really have enough time to figure out on the 3rd one, like to write that in the algorithm.
It's written in the software. It's in the algorithm. It's all there.
Lyft, you're supposed to be the good ones. Why do this?
You bought that? I never.
Because again, some of the things they do much better. You know, their scheduled rides are better. Yeah. Their sticky surge is better.
You've experienced it when you're on your 3rd of a streak.
It's everybody who's watching, say 1 if you experience on the 3rd trip. You got like
3rd or 4th,
or 2 if you always work. The 3rd trip, you never had any issues. 1 or 2. Go ahead, put 1 or 2 up. Let's see.
I want to know from Chris though, because
I've lost, I would say about 50% of the streak bonuses because I will not take rides on Lyft beyond a certain point. I won't do it.
Look at those ones. Look at those ones. One was like.
Yep.
Look at those 1, 3. Come on, Brandon. Don't be a jackass.
Why do you got to be like this? Be
1. Look at these ones. Look at these ones. Oh, 1. You know what 1 was? 1 was, did you get screwed on the 3rd leg? Or by Lyft? Look at those ones. There you go.
Why Lyft? Yep. You don't have to do this. You're losing billions anyways.
Well, because they don't want to pay out the bonus.
They lose more.
They put it out there as a game. That's not that. You know how we talked about surge baiting before? This is streak baiting.
Yeah.
Or on the 3rd one, they'll send you like an unaccompanied minor. I'm like, what the fuck? Or somebody without a car seat said you have to cancel. I go like, why? Why on the 3rd one?
Oh, let me ask you about cancels, because I had 2 cancels today and I didn't pay for either of them. I mean, they were pretty quick.
You didn't pay? You didn't get paid, you mean?
Oh, I didn't get paid.
Why? Okay, let's see.
Because it was, I think, within a minute. Like the first one was within a minute. The other one was pretty close to being a minute. Do they not charge people if they canceled fast enough?
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah, they get
2 minutes not to get charged.
Yeah.
Except if they do it multiple times. So let's say you get that canceled ride again a second time, and then they cancel, and then a 3rd time. After a certain time, they charge them.
Yeah.
It also didn't seem to count on my 6 out of 10. Like I was still at 6 out of 10, even though I accepted the ride and
because it's got to be completed.
Yeah.
Oh, those have to be completed.
Yeah.
I accept
because you did not decline. You accepted the trip. So 6 out of 10 is going to stay 6 out of 10 if the passenger is canceling. Now, if you canceled, then it'll go from 6 to 5.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So shouldn't it also?
You didn't cancel. They canceled.
I'm saying though, I accepted. It should go now up to 7 to 10 instead of 6
absolutely not.
Why? I played the game.
Yeah, because
I accepted. I was a good boy.
The game's stacked against you.
It's not a fair game.
The game is stacked against me.
No kidding. Yeah.
Which is why, Sergio, even though I don't believe that the ants will buy into your plan, I'm all in favor of your plan, because if they're going to cheat on the other side, then
listen. Here's the thing.
Ours is not cheating. We're not cheating. We're not cheating. We're just unavailable.
Hold on, Tony. You said this earlier.
They're blatantly cheating.
Like the game. And Sergio, you said the algorithm is the gamification. Here's the thing: with any game, there are rules that you can follow. And if you know that you're playing the game, you know how to bend to those rules. So you can work it in your favor. Yes, you absolutely can. You can hack the algorithm. The only thing is you have to, some of it has to be done with teamwork. And then other times it can be, you know, these one-off things that work in your favor. But you have to understand how complex their algorithms actually are in order to try to game it. And that's something that we're going to be trying to work on too, is trying to see how these new algorithms with upfront earnings actually is. Because there's a couple of things I have in my mind, and there's a couple of things I know Sergio has in his mind. So we're going to try and compile it and then see what we can come up with.
Obviously, we figured out last week what happens when the system recognizes that there are not enough drivers. This was their glitch, not mine. I'm saying I can repeat this. And one guy said, you will get flagged. No, I will not get flagged because you cannot control when and where I turn the app off.
That's right.
Period. Because that's the only freedom and flexibility I have. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Now, they could say all kinds of things, right? And they could say, and they go, oh, if you keep doing it, we're going to deactivate you. Okay, what are you going to do? Deactivate 20,000 drivers in LA at rush hour? What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? You think you're going to get 20,000 more drivers to deactivate? Nah, it's not going to work like that.
You're going to get $50 surge that moves to $100 surge.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't know. So
10 guys are going to get super rich.
No, we all will make $50 easy an hour. Easy money. And then, so look, if our goal was $100 a day, Tony, okay? If your goal is $100 a day, if you make $100 in 4 hours versus $100 in 2 hours, which one would you pick?
I would pick the 2.
There you go.
I got gas to feed.
Oh, Gary says house always wins. Gary, that's not what I want to hear. I want you to figure this app out, Gary.
That's not true. The house
has lost billions every quarter.
The house is designed to win, but there are times where people have been able to win and beat the house. The problem is, you know, it's very few and far between. You have to. There's a lot to it. Look at the kids at MIT. They made a movie off it. 21, I think it was. That's based on, you know, some actual events. Same thing with people who count cards. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do to game the system in your favor. You just have to understand, you know, those rules. And if you can find when you can bend them, and some of them can even be broken.
Yeah. Well, I think it's doable, but we all have to be on the same page. And it not just turning the app back on, turning it off at the same time is the key. Not the, you know, some people will wait until $5 surge. Some people will take $10 surge trips. You know, it's up to you after that when to turn the app on. I'm not saying turn off at the same time. On is on your call, but off is what's going to create this, you know, little bloody Red Sea over there. But that's it. So that's it. And okay, what else? We got anything else?
No, that's it.
That's it.
It's the topics we got.
Tony, I'll give you the last word. Can you tell us a little bit more about your here in LA, where they can, and we're going to put it in the show notes anyway. I'm telling you, everybody, I know most of you are not from LA, but this is not an LA podcast. This is a human, amazing people, exotic people, educated people, actors, and me, the idiot, is in there too. So let me tell you something. This is like a movie. I mean, you guys should go check it out. It's called Here in LA. And Tony, how many have you visited so far, by the way? How many neighborhoods?
I've gone to 25 neighborhoods, 65 episodes. So for Hollywood, I did like 14 different people. For Venice, I did like 11 different people. Wow. And then I started slowing it down a little bit and doing just 1s and 2s. Basically, anytime somebody now says, you got to meet Sergio, he's a master, then I'll go. So it's going to take me 20 years to finish this project. I'm using Uber money to pay for it, and which is why I need you so desperately, Sergio, because my idea is this podcast will probably be sustainable in about 3 to 4 years. So I need to be driving or delivering or whatever I got to do for 3 to 4 years, and then
I'm with you. I'm with you. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. I'm with you.
The most interesting news of this week is LAist KPCC has made a competitive version of Here in LA.
Hey, that's a good thing.
I think so too. I think so too. Competition is great, especially when I'm better.
So well, you know what? That copying is the biggest form of flattery. That means what you're doing is getting recognized. So
yes,
I think it's all wonderful, and you guys should go check it out. Now, you guys are all about LA. A lot of no, that's not true, Aislinn.
I'm not. I'm in Buffalo, New York.
He's in Buffalo. We're not all about LA. We did 2 town halls. I invite you to the next one, Aislinn without the S. Let me tell you why. We did town halls with small cities, large cities, mid-sized Uber cities. We discussed all our problems. We are not about LA. If we were all about LA, like Driven Dad is in Denver, another guy is in Chicago. So if you're in a small town, email me, Sergio@RideShareGuy.com, and we'll get you on the next town hall. And you can talk about your frustrations. You can talk about your experiences and whatever it is. Because we don't, honestly, LA we know is not reality in most things, right? And LA drivers are lucky to be in LA because there's so much demand. But yeah, we do hear from a lot of small towns saying that, hey man, I'm in, Sioux Falls, I'm in Portland, I'm in wherever I am. And it's not the same. It's not the same as LA. And I do sympathize and empathize with you guys because it is not the same as LA. And
also LA, we have the highest gas, we have the highest insurance, we have crazy traffic at all hours, day and night.
Only 60 cents a mile.
And 60 cents a mile. And 21, and don't forget the 21 cents a minute. Because if you can do 3 miles in LA in 45 minutes, right, Tony?
Yeah, to pick up. You don't even get paid for it.
Yeah,
Chris,
I know.
By the way,
I know.
I've seen some of your videos where they talk about how you get paid on your way to the person. There's the pickup fee. Do you guys see that coming to more cities?
Sometimes it shows up under this upfront pricing scheme. They may include that in there. It may be one of the 70 things the black box algorithm figures in like a millisecond.
Good.
Yeah. So Aileen, St. Louis, she says, yeah, I know. We did the town hall, and I had a driver from Chicago, and Chicago is going through the roof when it comes to safety issues. And we talked quite a bit about safety issues. We even put up 2 videos this week about safety and what Uber should do. So we do talk about a lot of different cities.
Oh, speaking of, there was a question asked earlier about personal protection and if it's allowed on the platforms. First off, it's not allowed on the platforms. If you're caught with one in your car, it'll be deactivated. Hide it really well. That's my opinion. I usually, whenever it comes to TOS and things like that, I always say, go by TOS. You don't want to risk the liability or anything. But when it comes to personal safety, do what you have to do to make sure you're safe or to feel safe.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. If something happens in your car and the cops are who knows where at that point, you got to do what you got to do. You got to, think what you can do before a possible situation could happen. You are in control at that point, and you have to be able to defend yourself any way you see fit. Just if you do have something in protection wise, just make sure it's hidden and you only know where it is.
And Tony, do not pick up at Skid Row.
Yeah.
I got that money finally.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
By the way, the lesson that I learned. So I picked up a guy on Skid Row, Chris, the worst part of town, at 5:00, rush hour. Because I'm a curious man and I'm still a journalist deep down, and everybody's telling me I really should start a blog just about my rideshare experience.
You should.
Because I love the stories that I hear and I love these people. And so I picked up this guy on Skid Row just to figure out who the hell is ordering Uber.
Skid Row, by the way, explain what Skid Row is to the people who watch.
Whenever you see pictures of a lot of homeless people living on the streets, it's probably Skid Row. For decades, that's where the cops and everybody would just push the poorest of the poor. And if you listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge about Anthony Kiedis scoring heroin, any of the Jane's Addiction songs about heroin, that's where they get their drugs too. And so, so I see this street. That's the other problem that I have with this upfront thing is you really have to know your city to be like, San Pedro. Why don't I know this name? Oh, I don't know it because it's probably Skid Row. Sure enough, it was. It was right in the heart of Skid Row. Yeah. So I picked up this guy and I was like, why is this guy going from Skid Row all the way out to the City of Commerce, which is a 35 minutes in the direction you don't want to go. It's far away from anything good. And I'm like, you know what? Sergio's going to hate me for this, but I bet you there's a story here. So I'm going to try it. So I did it. The guy ended up to be great. He used to live on Skid Row. His doctor is on Skid Row. It's a free clinic. They always say yes to him. He's 69 years old. He doesn't want doctors saying no to him anymore. This particular one does. So the saddest part of the whole trip was I didn't get paid. And so I immediately turn off my app because I'm so mad at Uber. I didn't even try to get a ride back to where I live. I said, I'm just going to deadhead it back home because I'm so mad. And I keep checking to see if it pops on. It never did. So I wrote the report. By the way, you got to wait 48 hours to write the stupid report because they hope that you forget all the details, I guess. I don't know what the problem is. They're a tech company. A tech company should have a better tech for reporting. So this is what I learned. So after about 5 days, I still didn't get any money. And the people are asking me the same questions. When was the ride? Where did it go? What was the guy's name? Most of the time, who would know this? But I knew because I had a half hour with this guy and he was fascinating. And we ended up texting each other before the ride because he was like, make sure, like he wants to get picked up out of Skid Row.
I don't blame him.
One of the few times that I actually texted through the app and then called through the app. And so you'd think that a tech company could trace it that way, but they pretended like they couldn't. And so,
oh my God.
So I did my report. I didn't get paid. And so I ended up in Manhattan Beach, which is far away. But I was like, ooh, Manhattan Beach has a green light. I'll go there and ask those guys. So this is why I'm telling this story. The green light guy said, the next time this happens, don't file a report. Just come straight to us. Because when you file a report, they lock it. And I can't get in there. I, being the green light guy, cannot get in there and like really find out what's going on. So Sergio, you say don't follow that advice. Don't go to the green light.
Well, first of all, green light for most of us is like a 40-mile drive. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So just to chase $30 or however much that ride was, I'm going to spend that much money in gas in traffic. I wouldn't chase it. What I would do what you did. You know, I reported. That's why I recommend take screenshots. Okay. And then everything. And at the end of the day, erase it. I mean, what's the big deal? We all have big hard drives on our phones and just take screenshots, right? At least you have some sort of proof because these idiots with weird names from the Uber support are going to come back to you. I mean, you know, they're not real people, right, Tony? They're just some AI email bullshit. So they're going to come back to you and it's going to be a different person every time. And each one is going to start, oh, I'm Lakshish, and can I help you with this? I just explained for half an hour to the other guy what the fucking problem was. So why do I have to start all over again? I mean, you're a tech company. You have a database of the stuff. Why can't you just read my complaint, the original one? Yeah. Instead of me explaining it. But, you know, that's how it's been. It's going to be like that.
So, Sergio, you take screenshots all the time.
All the time, man. When the trip comes in, especially if it's decent surge, like $8, $10, $12, click. And then go to the passenger app with the three dots on the right-hand side. Make sure, because when the ping screen comes, you may say $8 or $10 or $20 surge, right? And then you'll go, oh yeah, the ping said $20. No problem, I'll take it. Guess what? You'll finish the trip and you look at it. There will be no surge on that trip. The reason for that is the ping came in and it disappeared somehow. Or the passenger was not in an actual $20 area and only you were. So that's why I go also take the secondary screenshots from the passenger screen with their name, their rating, and where they get picked up. And it will have that surge in there. So if I have a problem, I can bitch about it. Otherwise, plus, you know how they ask you, like an hour later, you forgot who you picked up, where you picked up. Yeah. All that information is in there. I don't remember the guy's name. from yesterday. I don't know, right? So that's why you take screenshots, man. You just constantly.
Do you take screenshots for your food deliveries too?
No,
because it's safe. That's legit.
Because I mean, not much can go wrong in that thing. I mean, I'm walking to the restaurant
slowly.
Literally, I'm just one of my flip flops walking to the restaurant. I pick up the food. I know all the managers now. I've spoken to all of them. I did my research. I asked them all, okay, how many Uber Eats orders do you get on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays? Give me a breakdown. So I know that I need to be near to that restaurant. So I did my research. Then I go, what percentage is your DoorDash? What percentage is Grubhub? What percent Uber Eats? So they respected the questions, actually.
Yeah.
And then they go, yeah, this is the busiest day for Uber Eats. And this day, DoorDash offers us a break on the commission. So we do more DoorDash. And I'm like, okay. So now I just know my stuff really well in my neighborhood anyway. If I came to Hollywood, I probably wouldn't know anything. But yeah. So, Aislinn is constantly talking about East St. Louis. I'm sure it's not a great area, but one question: if it's that bad, and you don't feel safe, why do you keep doing it? That's the question. Sergio, don't be so sure. I've had food stolen from restaurants lately. Yes, I agree with you. Stolen? It happened to me. Actually, RideShare Lisa, you're correct. Out of the 203 deliveries, I get the ping. I go to the restaurant, and the idiot says, somebody else picked it up. I go, what do you mean somebody else picked it up? It's me. He goes, no, some driver, some other driver. So unless Uber system glitched and they sent both of us the same ping, could have happened. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. Because honestly, most of these restaurants, like there'll be like $200 worth of sushi sitting there. And with their little name tag on it, you just go in and grab it. Nobody's looking at the app. Nobody's asking you anything. It's like so I'm like, I guess people can steal food, because most restaurants have like a special area to pick up delivery. Yeah. And all the boxes or all the bags are sitting there. You can just walk from the outside, grab one, and go out if you want to steal food.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's only one restaurant in my neighborhood that constantly looks at my app to confirm name with the one on the box. 99% don't even pay attention. They go like, it is. Yeah, go get it. I'm like, okay, thank you. So yeah.
All right. Well.
All right.
Tony, thank you for coming on and hanging out. It was a great time.
What's the cat's name again?
Anything last?
Michael, right? Michael?
This is Michael. Good job.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Anything last comment, question, anything that you wanted to say?
Here in LA, we've got 65 episodes, and listen to the one from Sergio from Granada Hills. He was fantastic. We talk about Uber, but we also talk about his life and his neighborhood. I get it that not everybody's going to even listen to maybe even 2 of these podcasts, but you've got to listen to the Sergio one because he really is fantastic.
I appreciate it, but I've listened at least to half of them so far.
Yep.
Oh,
in the description.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool, man, because these people, you don't even think they exist, but they do. It's like they're amazing stories. So
that's right.
Yep. And you can, both the links are in the description. So the show that Sergio is on, and also it'll take you right to the podcast.
Oh, you guys will see my childhood picture in there. He bribed me to give me a shot. Oh my God.
Sergio told me a great story about when he first came to LA and he didn't know English very well. And of course I'm like, well, how did you get laid? And he told me.
Go ahead. If you want to tell him. No, I'm like,
well, he and his buddies all bought sports cars.
As if that's going to work, right? So,
they all bought sports cars. And I think I took a picture of the apartment building that you
Yes, you did. It's still there.
Still there. And they learned English. Like Sergio's story is actually the American dream come true. You come to America, you do well, you bring your family over, and then you make all this money on Wall Street. And then you make all this money on Uber. Like
there's no money on Uber, and there is definitely no money on the RideShare, guys. I'm doing this for love. I'm not doing it for the money.
But it's the kind of stories that politicians talk about.
Yes.
And they don't really mean it. Sergio is the living proof that you can come here with very little, and you just hustle, and you can make it. And I don't know if that's just an LA story. I bet you stories like that happen all around.
There are immigrants all over the country, man. They hustle. Yeah. You got to hustle. Even now, you got to hustle.
And not be afraid to talk to the pretty girl who, even if you can't speak English.
What's the worst it could be? It's going to be no. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Many other fish in the ocean, just like the chips, Tony. Don't accept every garbage thing that they sent you. There's many, many more.
There are.
True words never
Thank
spoken.
you for coming on. I love you. Thank you for coming on. Okay.
All right, Tony. Thank you for coming on. Sergio, great show. Smash that like button. It was a good show. Thank you for everybody coming out.
Michael.
See you next Tuesday. Also, again, just a reminder, this version is available in an audio podcast. So if you don't want to watch it live on Tuesdays, or something with video, or some sort of data issues, if you're driving, you can always listen to Show Me the Money Club on your favorite podcast. And with that being said, have a great rest of your night, everybody.